All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Blair Nickel, and we also have Emily Anderson, and we are your local FranNet representatives here in Oregon and Idaho. Everybody who is either online right now or will be listening to the recorded version of this will be from Oregon and Idaho for the most part. And so this is designed for you guys. And today is about pet businesses. Look, we love our pets. Our pets are part of our family. We spend God knows how much money on all of them. I know with this monster back here, she, as Emily knows, she had a double knee replacement last year. That cost all of $10,000 for me, but we're willing to do it because we love them. We absolutely love them. And one of the things that COVID has brought to us over the past year and a half is just more love of our pets. They have suddenly become office mates of ours. So there are co-workers now. And so people are just spending an astronomical money on their animals, whether it be rabbits or cats or dogs or snakes or lizards, doesn't matter. We got to take care of them. We got to groom them. We got to walk them, you name it. So one of the hottest topics that we are seeing from our clients right now is them wanting to look at pet-oriented businesses. So we wanted to invite John McClellan with Fetch and Lori Meyerson with Pet Bar, who are both going to give some short presentations on their businesses. And then we will open it up to questions and answers at the end. I will watch the chat. And then we also had some questions that were sent in to us prior to this starting. So we'll go through those as well. This is Brady Bunch style. So if you want to put yourself on camera or take yourself off mute, feel free. I would say keep yourself on mute while the presentations are going on. And then if you got questions, feel free to take yourself off mute and ask away. But we'll try to keep this to about 30 minutes or so everybody can get back to their days. But let's have some fun with this. Even if your pet is in your lap, show off your pet. Let's have fun, all right? So with that being said, John, we'll turn it over to you to give the first presentation on Fetch.
All right, great. Thank you, Blair. Appreciate it. Let me just pull up my brief there. Hopefully, I'm just trying to pull this up a little bit. And there we go. Well, thank you. John McClellan here, Franchise Director for Fetch. Briefly, Fetch has been franchising since 2003. We started out in California, and we're right now probably the fastest growing pet franchise in the United States. And I'm going to show you why here in just a few minutes. We've got 135 current franchisees coast to coast. And we're headquartered outside of Detroit, beautiful Livonia, Michigan. I know maybe out there in the West Coast, if you've ever been to Michigan, it's actually pretty pretty. I don't know if it's as nice as Oregon or Idaho, but it's not bad. Great management team with over 125 years experience. So we know what we're doing and we're pretty excited about it. I'm sure Lori's going to mention as well. And Blair had mentioned the pet category is just exploding in the United States. And I started off in this business with McDonald's and Wendy's and fast food and gravitated to the home service businesses. And now just really excited to be working with the pet category because it's just a great opportunity. And there you can see on the screen, 7th largest industry in the United States. And before COVID, about 2/3 of the homes owned a pet. Now it's almost 3/4 of the home. And you can see, if you have a pet, you know that number is not unrealistic. And a lot of our clients are spending way more than that. So what is it that Fetch does? Well, and I should tell you right now, it's not just cats and dogs. We work with rabbits, fish, birds, animals, you name it, all the sorts of pets that have to be taken care of. We do private walking, pet sitting, overnight care, pet playtime, in-home care, pet taxis. We take vets to the veterinarians. Veterinarians love us and we love them because they send us a lot of business. And when I say more to come, we're in a terrific position. We're in the people's home with their dogs. They give us a key to their house or their garage. And so we're going to leverage that relationship and be able to offer our customers and your customers a lot more than you see on that screen there. Things like pet insurance, pet collars or tick collars, and lots of products and services that we're pretty excited about to give our franchisees another opportunity to increase their revenue. Fetch is really, I like to say it's a simple business. Walking dogs is not taking care of pets is not putting a man on the moon. It's a simple business, but yet it's sophisticated systems. Your competition is primarily going to be mom and pops who aren't going to have some of the sophisticated systems that you'll have and that give you the ability to scale this business to $500,000 and plus. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can see right here is a screenshot of our website, and you'll have your individual own website, mini website. Our mobile app where you'll be able to, our customers can literally look and see where their dog is being walked or taken care of. They can pay for their service. They can order the service. In today's environment, a mobile app is obviously critical. Operationally, we have not just a call center, but it's what we call a sales and marketing center. Here it is, simple business, sophisticated systems. So our sales and marketing center fields all the calls, emails, and texts. We don't want you to miss a call or a text in today's environment. If you don't answer the phone or you don't respond to a text or an email, they just go to the next person. So our sales and marketing center fields all of the calls. It may verifies all the credit cards. It basically does the selling for you. In addition to that, it does all the scheduling of the dog walkers. It manages all your invoicing as well as your payroll. So it's a terrific tool for our franchisees. Here's just a sample screenshot of the software. It's called MyFetch, where our franchisees can literally pull up the screen and see what's going on in their business, everything from being invoiced to who's walking where, who, when, and where, how. So what is it that Fetch owner's role is? Well, we want you to manage the customer experience, and I'll come back to that in a second. We want you to team build. We want you to hire, obviously, the dog walkers who are employees, but they're part-time. They only get paid when they work. We want you to manage the marketing and obviously the economics of the business. Our business, the terrific part of our business is it's a repeat business, recurring revenue. People are going to use you 2 to 3 times a week. So it's important that you develop a relationship with the customer and build that bond, if you will. What's the investment? Well, our investment level is under $100,000. It's primarily your franchise fee of $62,500. And then if you bought a second territory, it's reduced dramatically. What we want you to do is the beauty of this business, you don't have any overhead. You have minimal overhead in terms of you don't have inventory, signage, a lease, that sort of thing. But what you are going to need is working capital and startup marketing to grow the business. This business, the beauty of this business, it responds very well to marketing. When you turn on the marketing spigot, your business grows. And that's not the same with all businesses. You have supplies and insurance, which are minimal. You'll have liability insurance, but that's usually $1,000 to $2,000. Some other key stats that you should look at is that I mentioned recurring revenue. Your customers will typically use you 3 to 5 times a week. They'll use you weekly, some daily, monthly. And so our franchisees look at their business and look at your customers, the value of a customer on an annual basis. And annually, our customers typically are spending anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 with us. We have some clients that spend $5,000 to $10,000 a year. They live in a senior citizen home or something like that, and they need somebody to come and walk their animal, take care of their animal. So a lot of different opportunities for us. It's not just people going to work. It's people that live in condos, apartments, hospitals, everybody. The typical $25 to $35 a half an hour. I mentioned high customer retention, and this industry is going to grow by over 20% in just the next 10 years. So it's not a fad. It's not going to be replaced by Amazon. It's not a seasonal business. Your business will pick up over key holidays, spring break, kids back to school, that sort of thing. I'm going through this pretty quick, but certainly you'll have some time to answer some questions. But in summary, home-based business, reoccurring revenue, which is a beautiful thing as you look at businesses. I think that's clearly one of the things you want to look at. Number one is a category. Recurring revenue. It's $1 billion industry. Everybody gets hit by a recession, but people, kids and pets are people still have to take care of. Our business ramps up very quickly. You come out of training, you literally will have business the following week. You don't have to wait around 6 months, 12 months for your business to kick in. SMC is our sales and marketing center in our MyFetch software. Obviously the investment level and the ROI, you'll be able to talk to franchisees who have scaled their business to close to $1 million. Simple business, sophisticated systems. In my past life, we worked a lot of home service businesses and they were simple businesses, but if you put sophisticated systems in it, that's how you separate yourself from the mom and pops out there. And we have a great management team that hopefully you get a chance to talk to and meet with a lot of experience and a lot of ability to setting our franchisees up for success. So gone through this pretty quick, but hopefully I've touched on some of the hot points, and you'll have an opportunity to ask me any questions. And I'm going to turn it over to Lori.
All right, thanks, John. Enjoyed that. And let's see if I can get mine. And we'll start here. All right. Well, welcome everybody. And I'm excited to say hello. I am Lori Meyerson, the franchise development rep for Pet Bar. And I'm excited to introduce you to our good, clean, fun business opportunity. I would say that Pet Bar is a franchise that offers a boutique experience at a non-boutique price. We are the white glove experience, or the Ritz-Carlton experience when it comes to the grooming and bathing sector, but yet we're affordable for all to enjoy. Pet Bar is really proud to come into a community, make a difference, not only with our neighbors, our friends, our families, but also in the lives of all of the furry loved ones, our family members, our pets. Blair has his baby there next to him now, and all of the pet parents that we have in our community every day. So we like to have an impact. And then of course, we want to have a strong business model as well. So what you'll learn is that in addition to our services, our Pet Bar franchise owners love to host events at our Pet Bar boutiques. We love to partner with the rescue shelters, the humane societies, the adoptive pet organizations, and even local veterinarians that want to come in and maybe offer a free vaccination day. I mean, it's really a beautiful business to offer a quality needs service, but yet also help the community while you drive business and revenue into your Pet Bar location. This is a simple business model to manage. John just mentioned, in the pet service, the statistics are going, out over the roof. They're continuing to increase year after year. We love that we are an essential service. We are recession resistant. We are technology resistant. And I can say that, now today, who would have ever thought that we needed to say we're pandemic resistant, but we are. And this was validated in 2020 when our boutiques continued to stay open and even reached revenue of almost $1 million. And during that period of time, we signed over 60 locations. And here's how and why. So Pet Bar, I believe, is really a disruptor in the pet bar category. In the pet grooming category. What we offer is full service grooming. We have full service bathing, but we have an upscale do-it-yourself self-wash station that far exceeds, of course, washing your pet at home and or going to a big box retail. And the reason for that is that we offer top products. We have towel service, again, that Ritz-Carlton feel. And each one of our do-it-yourself station has an individual drying room. So no pet ever has to leave Pet Bar Boutique wet. We have a membership model, and our membership model has a conversion rate and typically of about 40 to 60% from new members to becoming, or customers becoming new members. And we too have a Pet Bar taxi service where we can offer a concierge service to our clients where we pick their babies up in the morning, deliver them home in the evening. And we like to carry a small product line. We do not want your money sitting on a shelf as an owner. However, isn't it wonderful to help that pet mom or that pet dad pick up the bag of treats or dog food on the way out the door and just really be a convenience factor? So we like to keep our environment clean. Our services, again, are needed. And we're also kennel free, which is really important to a lot of our pet parents. So unless it's actually required or requested, We have an open feel environment, and the pups look forward to coming. It's kind of like the play day for our furry babies. As a matter of fact, we have a customer that will say she can't say the pet bar name at home. She has to spell it when they're going to pet bar, or their baby goes crazy and out of control. So now, we also feel that that we have a strong repeat business model. We're seeing our customers coming in every week to every 4 to 6 weeks, and that may be for a bath. It could be for a full service groom, and it could also be for our do-it-yourself. We're seeing about 65 to 100 dogs serviced a day. And if and when we go into this process together, when you get into our franchise disclosure document, you'll see that we have a very strong breakout of all of the services and the stats of how many customers are using each one of those. I'm keeping my presentation short and sweet as well, and just to kind of give you the highlights of who we are and what we have to offer. But our investment runs as a brick and mortar about $280,000 to $480,000. We love our veterans and any of our first responders. If you're on this call, thank you for your service, and we would love to extend a discount to you. A lot of our franchise partners are multi-unit owners. So if you're interested in scaling, building a little dynasty, so to speak, we're going to help you. We have that discount on the additional locations. Franchise fees, $25,000 for your second, $15,000 for any after your second. When you dive into our finances, you're going to see they're pretty strong furry finances and impressive at that. We're typically seeing about $330,000 in beginning revenues, all the way up to about $256,000, just shy of $1 million. We were netting $247,000 or so as an average franchise owner for a full year. And we continue to grow throughout the US, and I'm excited to dig in a little bit further with anybody on the call today. And thank you, Blair and Emily, for the invite.
You bet. Happy to have you guys, and happy to have our furry monsters here with us too. So there are some questions that came in, and like I said in the beginning, if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll monitor the chat, or just take yourself off of mute and ask away. But there are some questions that came in. Can both of you, and we'll start with John, kind of go over your territory size as well as your availability here in the Pacific Northwest?
Sure. Our size, it will vary, obviously, but typically our size, we look at three things. We look at number of households, and then we look at the number of pets, and we look at the number of the amount of dollars that are spent annually on pets. And so it is, households are fine, but if you don't have pets, then that really doesn't do you or us any good. So typically our territory is about 65 to 70,000 homes with over 100,000 pets. And our average market is spending typically around any $15 to $20 million annually on pets. And that's not just pet walking, that's not annually on pets collectively on all the services.
And for PetBar, Blair, what we look for is about 50 to 70,000 household population in a territory. It's going to be about a 3 to 5 mile radius. We're looking primarily because of the type of customer that we're going to want to draw into PetBar. We want to see that they're making about 65 to 90,000 a year in an annual income. And most importantly, we go in areas where there is a Whole Foods, a Trader Joe's, veterinarian offices. We want to see some synergy there with the tenants that are also driving in the same type of customer.
Great. And how's your availability here in the Pacific Northwest, open territory?
We are wide open and ready to come.
Yeah, we're wide open out there as well. We do have a franchisee in Boise, but we have other available territory in Idaho as well.
Gotcha. Do either of you have a call center to handle inbound leads, or is it outsourced? John, we'll start with you.
We do have that, we call it a sales and marketing center that does, it says does all the selling for you. And it's in-house. We don't outsource it. We have literally 10 people in our offices that are 24/7 managing the phones. And it's not just calls, it's texts, it's emails, as you know, in today's environment. And so, yeah, it's a great tool for our franchisees. So they're not going to miss a phone call, a text, or an email.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and for PetBar, because we're more brick and mortar, Blair, our customers are typically calling in using our mobile app to schedule appointments or popping in. We get a lot of pop-ins too. So we're not just appointment only, we're walk-ins as well. And we do have a strong internal marketing process that our franchise owners will go through and implement. And then we also have a third-party source that helps with all of the grand opening and ongoing marketing as well.
Gotcha. One of the questions that was also asked is, can either of your businesses be ran semi-absentee?
For PetBar, absolutely. 99% of our franchise partners are corporate executives / semi-absentee. I mean, this is a simple model. We have low employees. You're going to have 2 front desk associates that can be your manager that you can oversee. You'll have 1 to 3 bathers and then 2 to 4 groomers. So absolutely. However, I have to say, Blair, there is a consensus in PetBar that the owners just can't find a way out. When they come in, they want to stay. They become friends with the pet parents and they love being around all their furry friends.
Yeah, with Fetch, I would tell you initially, no. It's a home service business, a service business that you're driving the bus. And so we need you to be involved from day one, hiring folks, managing the marketing, managing the whole business. As you grow the business, after 6 months to a year, then, typically that we have franchisees that, do have a manager or something to take over the business. But initially, we want our franchisees, heavily involved in the business, running the business, learning the business. And so I would say if somebody's really looking at having a 9 to 5 job, they're going to an office 9 to 5, Fetch probably is not the opportunity for them.
But John, I would imagine since your business is more of a service-based business, you could probably open up a Fetch pretty quickly.
Correct. Yeah, that's one of the upsides is that when you, once you decide that this is a path you want to go down, you come to training in our Michigan office, and you literally, when you come out of training, you're ready your business starts ramping up, and you'll be cash flow positive right out of the gate. I mean, you'll start, business once, like I say, it responds very well to marketing. We have a whole digital marketing program and agency and in-house folks that help you budget and plan your advertising. And yes, it ramps up, right away.
Okay, great. I know there's a couple of questions that were sent Emily's way, but is there any questions that our crew has out there, our attendees?
I see that Stephen raised his hand.
So I do have a question for both of you. Do any of your franchises, are they owned, or are they, is there a focus on hiring people with disabilities as a part of that business that you know of?
So for PetBar, we actually like to have an extension in that particular community because this is a friendly kind of environment. A lot of our franchise owners are enjoying bringing their children in, bringing in their family. And even some of the children do have a disability, and it can be somewhat of a therapy for them. I mean, we have a little bit of a holding pen where we can hold some of the pets when they're getting ready to go and get groomed. And I've been in a few of our locations where the kids are in there and they're sitting and playing with the pets before they're going for service. So absolutely.
Yeah, I think, and I'm sure Lori would agree, this industry, it really is, even though you hear a lot of times about how hard it is to find employees, we have a real advantage because people, the first thing you ask them is if you like pets. And if they don't like pets, there's probably a good chance you're not gonna hire them. And so our employees tend to be more conscientious. They're not typically, people think they might be college kids or something. They typically stay-at-home moms, veterans, retired people, that sort of thing, who tend to be a little more conscientious and reliable. And we do have, as you talk to our franchisees around the country, they will, special needs folks, sometimes will be, part of their employee network. So it is a real I think advantage of the industry, the pet industry, that in terms of employees. We've just had some people down in Austin that really had no problem at all of reaching out and finding employees. I'm not saying that's everywhere, but it's pretty consistent. The pet category has a little better chance than finding people in McDonald's or Burger King and that sort of thing.
Good. Other
Thank you.
questions from attendees? Emily, I know you got a couple.
Yeah, and you guys actually both answered the questions I got in your presentation, but I would like to maybe, John, if you could speak a little bit more. Somebody asked about a seasonality to the businesses, and John, you briefly touched on that. Can you expand on that? And then Lori, if you could tell us if there's a seasonality to your business.
Sure. Like pets have to be taken care of, 12 months out of the year. It's not like a Dairy Queen or something. So your business will actually pick up as I mentioned, around the holiday season, when people are traveling, spring vacation, people are traveling. So there's really no seasonality to it. And as I mentioned, it's not just dogs and cats. People, they have birds, they have fish, they have rabbits. We even do pigs, you name it. The animals that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, I concur with everything that John said. And what we see with Pet Bar is that we're pretty consistent all year long. However, during the holidays, particularly the Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, we get slammed. We can hit over 100, 125 pets a day. And, pet parents want to get those holiday pictures of their babies too. So there's no seasonality in our business, but there is a spike during the holiday time.
And in terms of the quantity of employees, if you could both speak to about how many are
Sure.
in the business.
Our business, you typically, and we focus heavily on that. Everybody that comes into our system is assigned a coach, and that coach works with our franchisees. But you'll typically start off with 3 to 4 employees, and they're part-time employees. And then as you grow your business, you'll expand it. You'll find that you'll have some employees that want to work 10 hours a week. You'll have others that want to work 20 or 30. So it'll really vary by franchisee, but you'll grow that base as you grow your business. But you'll typically start off with 3 to 4.
And with Pet Bar, you'll start out with 1 to 2 front desk associates, 2 to 3 bathers, and those are your W-2s. So you'll have 1 to 5 W-2 employees, again, low employee count. And then your groomers, you'll have 1 to 5, obviously 1 ramping up, 5 mature, and they're independent contractors, and they get a % of every ticket they invoice throughout the day. They love it. These are going to be seasoned groomers, somebody that's going to come with a portfolio of cuts. Again, that Ritz-Carlton kind of feel. We always laugh because we're not going to be a cookie cutter type of pet concept where you come in with a Cocker Spaniel, you get a Cocker Spaniel cut. We can do that. But if a pet mommy wants their Cocker Spaniel to look like a Shih Tzu, we can turn that Cocker Spaniel into that cut. We customize and specialize what a pet parent needs. So you'll start out with 5, and you may end up with about 10 employees.
Gotcha. I think we have time for one more question. I believe, Martita, you raised your hand.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering for Fetch. So I currently, when I needed cat sitting, the one that came forth for me when I did searches was Rover. But what I noticed when I use Rover, there is no management. It's almost like Uber, right? Like I need a car, I scroll around, I pick somebody, I interview them, I talk to them. It's almost feels like contractor based. So with something like Fetch, is the advantage that you could kind of, is there more interaction? Like you actually have a manager, somebody that's helping you with your time? Like what would I pitch that as the advantage? Yeah.
Thank you, Matilda. I'm glad you asked that question. Yeah, we're a pet company and Rover is more of a tech company, and they are. You're exactly right. They're like Uber. They just you call them and who's ever closest shows up, and you'll talk to our franchisees, and we don't even consider them strong competition because your dog owners, it's like a babysitter for your child. You want to know, you want to know who they are. You want to trust them. You're leaving them with an important member of your family, so to speak. So yeah, we encourage our owners to meet, and they typically meet with the dog owner. So they understand the dog, they meet the dog owner, they establish that relationship. And ours is more of a relationship business where, the Rovers of the world, it's good. They're out there, like I said, they're like Uber. They build a category. They show that there's a need out there. But when you talk to our franchisees, we blow them away along with mom and pop because of our relationship building and our technology and the service that we provide.
If I can ask one follow-up to that, I would think, because for instance, if I imagine being the pet sitter, is there an advantage that I would say, oh, I was on Rover, but now I want to work for somebody under the Fetch umbrella instead because ...
Yes, absolutely, because we're a locally owned franchise, and so yes, you would have a relationship with the local franchisee, and it's typically terrific. I mean, but as opposed to working for a corporate, I think they're out of Seattle or LA, I'm not sure where. So yeah, clearly a big difference in working with Fetch, where we have a whole program where we certify our walkers. We give them merit pay, a whole lot of incentive programs for our dog walkers.
Okay, so there's more incentive. That's what I mean, because I could see picking people off of Rover if they had a reason to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure those people are looking for better opportunities themselves. So if they get better taken care of under this umbrella, then maybe they'd leave Rover and come here instead.
Yeah, we get a lot of folks that come over from Rover because they're like you said, they're kind of working for a tech company as opposed to a locally owned pet company.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Emily, do you want to wrap us up?
Yes. John and Lori, thank you so much for taking some time out today to talk to us about these pet businesses. And thanks to those who have joined us. If you would like to learn more about Fetch or Pet Bar, get in touch with Blair or myself. We did record today's session, so we will be emailing you a link to the recording along with our contact information. I believe John and Lori, one aspect of Pet Bar and Fetch is they'll probably request an entrepreneur profile. So if you haven't completed that already, there will be a link in the follow-up email. And again, we just look forward to supporting you on your entrepreneurial journey. And it was so nice to have such a feel-good kind of topic today. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blair.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the
Bye.
day.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.